Hey, wait, are you that guy from Crips and Corks?
What the heck? No. Those boys are all boobs and no brains. I'm too busy at the library reading books with dust on them. And welcome back to another episode of Crips and Corks. I'm your host, DJ, and the only fraternity I could get into was Fraternity X, along with my co-host.
And the sour cream in your Crunchwrap Supreme, Paul, as usual. And if you're watching on video, you can see we have a very special guest along with a very special setting. That's right, today we have the bro himself, the father figure of the paranormal community, probably one of the funnest parts of paranormal in Pennsylvania, David! Here to join us on the bro episode! How's it going, David?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. We needed a real in-person, professional, straight person for this episode. So thank you so much.
I take great pride in my profession.
Right. See, I was part-time for a while, but the benefits package just wasn't lining up with my needs, so I had to graduate to another.
I get that, you know?
Oh my god. I feel like I don't have enough testosterone to be a part of this episode.
You just gotta, let it flow, you know?
I know, I feel like, okay, my little non-binary ass shirks to the wing, shirks into the wings.
Right. Gosh, you probably haven't been this masculine since, grade school or some shit.
I'm trying to think the last time I was this masculine. Probably the last time I went on a hookup and the guy said mask for mask and I was like, I can do that.
You had to pretend to fake your way through? Oh yeah, I play sports.
I mean, it didn't last very long.
In golf and...
It's like, yeah, I'm mask, and then he kisses my neck and it's like, ah!
Oh my god. Anyway, I'm sorry you had to listen to that, dude.
Sorry. Also, I don't know if you probably didn't get the reference. At the beginning when I said Fraternity X is the only frat I could get into. Fraternity X is a famous gay porn site where the setup is it's all fraternity stuff.
Oh no, I did not know that.
Yeah, awesome. Because out of the corner of my eyes, he didn't react. He must not know, and why would he know that?
Yeah, don't look that one up, Mom.
So...
My mom watches these, so... Well, both moms. Hi, moms.
Not my mom.
Oh, they're
when
not
he
together.
says both moms. My mom's over here.
Nice.
No, it's not. This is what we keep the wine on. But Paul did think when I brought it that it was my mom's ashes. He's like, you're not bringing your mom's ashes on here, are you?
It would make the set extra spooky.
So I tell everyone it's my mom.
Yeah, I go everywhere with my mom. Don't you?
Yes, exactly. So, David, you are a prime member of the Paranormal in Pennsylvania podcast. So tell us, again, how long have you been doing paranormal in Pennsylvania again?
Oh my gosh, that is a fantastic question. What has it been, 3 years now?
3 years. And what inspired you guys to start the podcast? What got you guys into the paranormal?
So, two different answers for this.
Okay.
For what started the podcast, admittedly, kudos goes to my wife. She's always, we've always been into, the paranormal, but one day she's like, oh my gosh, the three of us should start doing a podcast. And I'm like, well, if you want to do that, yeah, let's do it. I support it. Let's do it. And but what got me into the paranormal, growing up was pretty interesting in a neighborhood development. And during the bulldozing of the land and such, they kind of discovered some Indian grave sites.
Oh. Okay.
They found one, but and then they're like, well, maybe there were more, maybe there weren't. I don't know.
Who knows?
But people would always talk about how some really weird things would happen in the neighborhood, and I would also notice that, especially when it was being the neighborhood was still being constructed. My friends and I would go into the open homes, and just weird stuff would happen in those homes without us doing things like doors would just start slamming shut or doors would open. And we're like, are the windows open? No windows are open. and everything. We're like, yeah, okay, we're out. Like, no, we're good.
So you've been paranormal investigating for a long time then, since before all that.
Yeah, kind of in a way. Like, certainly then, but then, like, you know, college and such didn't go hunting or anything like that.
Okay, so it kind of like rekindled later in life, like an interest in the paranormal, or was it always there?
So it was always there, but in terms of like doing investigations and stuff, that didn't come back until, you know, like with Sarah and the podcast. And like, okay, yeah, we actually might really want to do this. It's like, yeah, let's do it.
Right, and you guys really do like the damn thing. You guys go on so many investigations. I'm so jealous every time I see you guys go to all these cool places, and you guys stay on TikTok because like Sarah does all the TikToks, and I'm sure you're there. Wherever she's going, and all of these TikToks where it's like, here's this haunted place and here's that haunted place, and I swear you guys have like 4 new haunted places on there you've been to every week. It's insane.
Yeah, oftentimes on those TikToks, like you might see me as a little cameo, like walking ahead or something. Otherwise, if you don't see me, that means like I'm on baby duty. And so like she's like, I'm gonna take content. I'm like, you got it.
Okay.
And like put baby on the shoulders. I'm like, let's go run around and be silly.
Right,
Yes.
right. And I wasn't joking when I said the father figure of the paranormal community, because he is an actual father.
I'm daddy.
You are daddy, yes. I was gonna say that.
Something Paul desperately wants to be, but can never achieve.
Yeah, I
That's
just let
something
the
a
facial
blouse.
hair grow out, which I could, but I don't know. It's just so itchy. I don't know how you do it. Like, I can't do the itchiness of it all. Like,
Certainly at the start it was itchy. And then once it grows out like half an inch, it's like you're golden.
Okay.
It stops itching.
Now, what is your craziest paranormal experience?
Oh, I think one of my craziest was, again, growing up. Well, no, wow. I'm actually torn because growing up, there was one where I was in my bed and left my computer game running. And I woke up and I was like, wow, something feels really weird. Like, I'm like, this feels really weird. And I started looking at my computer screen and it started rotating towards me.
what?
I don't like
And
that.
I was like, I didn't like that either. At the moment, I was like, I don't like this. I don't want this. And then I like got up and ran out of the room. And I'm like, okay, so, you know, the next morning going back into my room, like, was that a dream? Was I like imagining it? And like, sure enough, my computer screen was turned towards me. And I also like,
That's crazy.
The Grudge at that point in my life was a terrifying movie to me. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, this is it. I'm going to see
It's The
Ray.
Grudge.
Like, yep, that's it. Like, this is how I die. But of course, like, you know, now looking back on it, that could be a cat could have been behind it, pushing it. And I didn't notice the cat because I'm so
okay.
focused.
Yeah.
But so I don't really know if that was truly paranormal or not. But the most recent one, oh my gosh, when we were in New York doing an investigation, and I'm completely blanking on the penitentiary's name, but we were doing a session where Sarah had noise canceling headphones on, and was listening to Spirit Box, right?
Oh, like the Estes method.
Yes, and so we were talking to what we thought was a little boy, and she was responding, and so we also had cat balls around the room, and he would light up the cat balls.
That would be crazy.
Okay.
Like, on command, like, you were like, light this one up and it would do it?
Yeah, so like we're like, hey, can you light like the one up over here? And he did, and then we're like, do you want to touch other ones? And he like the other ones would start going off. And what was really interesting about that is we also like put them in places that were like really secure, or like not just like simply like rolling. And I walked over to each of them before, which I do in normal investigations, like stop and see like what can I do to actually make them activate.
Right.
And they were not activating with me stomping on them until you like reached down and like touched them. And I was like, this was why. This was like, I actually changed my answer. This is it. That was it.
That's crazy. And is that like one of those like paranormal experiences that like made you question things? Because I've had like 1 or 2 paranormal experiences that like made me question everything afterwards, like what life after death and all that stuff. Was it like that life changing or no?
I don't know if I didn't like start questioning anything like that, but I was still like okay, I really can't explain this because I call myself somewhat of a skeptic because I believe that like 98% of everything can be explained by something in reality. But then like 2% that shines through, it's just like, I got nothing.
Right. And that's a good way to like approach paranormal investigation, is like being skeptical and not being like, oh, everything's paranormal and blah blah blah, and like just every little thing that happens.
Everything's a demon.
Exactly. Very Zach Baggins-esque.
I don't know. I love the Warrens. It's a demon. We need to perform an exorcism. Wait, I should do the Lorraine Warren voice.
Ooh.
Oh, honey, it's a demon. You need to get a priest in here. I'll write to the Vatican. And don't call on Annabelle. She ate all of my rice pudding.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
We did that voice live for the Amityville, him and I, and then I was Annabelle, which was a very different voice. We actually just dropped that episode, so if you want to watch that live show, it's on our YouTube. But why don't we drink a little bit? And if you see our setting, you probably know what's coming for this episode, and you probably saw the episode title.
I have no idea.
What could it be?
I don't know.
But yes, I'll go ahead and announce what we're doing. Well, no, let's make them wait until after we're
Okay,
drinking.
yeah. Let's keep it on the ball. We have a method.
Exactly, yes. We'll stick to the method. We won't stray this time. And we'll explain the solo cups and the beer after I do my intro for this week's topic. So, you want to pass out the cups, DJ?
Sure.
And we can do our ASMR cracks.
Ooh. Who doesn't love an ASMR crack?
We love Esmer on this podcast.
Exactly.
It'll immediately make you like, I want a beer. Or I want whatever that is.
Very that. So, do you want to crack your beer next to the microphone? Do the first ASMR crack?
Sure, we can try and see how that goes.
Nice.
That was a good one. Do you want to go next?
Yes.
Cool.
That was fizzy.
I feel like you were a little teased there with the little tag.
It's
One thing about
like,
one thing about DJ, he's a tease.
well, no, actually, anytime I open a can of something, I do tap there because I think it's going to prevent it from exploding on me.
I do the same thing, though. We'll just open this one. Cool. Okay. So then we'll just pour it. So if we all want to pour it, like, at the same time, get, like, a big pour. Get all the ASMR pours. Make sure it doesn't overflow. I'm getting flashbacks to my college days already with the solo cups and
the head of
beer. I love beer. I don't know about y'all, but I do love beer. Like, unironically love beer. Like, especially cheap beer. Cheap beer is my absolute favorite. Like, Bud Light and shit. Like, absolute top tier for me.
Have you ever done the quote unquote like cheap beer blind tasting?
No, I haven't.
No.
I have done it. It is, it ends up everything tastes like beer flavored beer.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's pretty crazy. There's like one or two that everyone knows that they get right, but then it quickly falls off. And it's pretty great because like I went into it, I'm like, I'm probably not going to do good at this because, like it's not. A lot of them have very similar profiles.
Yeah.
Right.
And then so you get some friends, and you always have the one guy that's like, oh yeah, I'm going to crush this 10 out of 10, and then they get like 1.
Right.
Like,
They get nothing.
I'm like, how'd you get 1? And not how'd you did you mislabel? It's like if you got 1 right, you're more likely to get 2.
It's always the overconfident ones that always like fail. The like cocky ones. But why don't we cheers? Cheers, motherfuckers! Let's fucking go! Oops, spilled a little bit. Again, like my college days, and very on theme. Extra points if you chug during this episode, for sure. And there's plenty of beer where that came from, so chugging is encouraged, especially on this episode.
If we didn't have live mics and a guest here, I would chug this first beer and get another one. But then I'm going to spend the rest of the episode burping.
That's tea. We can take beer breaks if needed, though. Because it's just on theme. You got to,
Yeah, I found myself reflexively treating this like a Guinness and trying to split the G, even though there's no G on this. Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
You split the G? What's that?
So when you get a pint of Guinness, they're in a Guinness glass, you try to drink and you have like, usually you can do this with friends or just do it by yourself, but you try to drink on your first go just enough so you split the G in half. And when you're doing it with a group of people, whoever has the best is safe, but whoever like royally screws it buys the round.
Okay. Interesting. I like
We're
that.
gonna have to try this.
Yes, I'm gonna have to do that sometime. That sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, it's pretty specific though because you need the Guinness glasses or a glass that says Guinness, right?
And also a good way to get free beer.
Yeah, right.
If you're good at splitting the G, at least.
Yeah, like sit there, practice all day.
Get
for a
just
week,
absolutely toasted.
Yeah, like spending like 3 bar tabs worth, but you're like, I'm not buying any beer now.
Right. It's investing for your future.
Right. Really.
Speaking of college experiences, Guinness is dangerous because when I was in Ireland in college, I did drink a considerable amount of Guinness. And the one night, I bought the entire group of 30 students and teachers all a round of drinks after one too many Guinnesses. Do you know how much money 30 drinks in a round is?
No.
You don't want to.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Damn. And that's forward money, too.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Probably like euros or some shit.
It was euros.
Yeah. I should know that more off the top of my head because I did go to Ireland once, but here we are, Ha, frat boys.
See,
Oh, whoops.
Crips and Corks, all boobs, no brains.
All boobs and no brains. You're welcome. All right. Wait, real quick, before we get into that. Okay, so if you've ever seen Crips and Corks, you know we rate everything on a scale of 1 to 5 grapes, how much we enjoy the drink we are drinking. So DJ and David are drinking Murphy's, the stout. It's dark stout, right?
Irish style stout. Yeah, dark.
Irish stout. Perfect. So, David, how many on a scale of 1 to 5 grapes, how many grapes are you giving that?
Oh, 5.
5 grapes? Okay.
Murphy's.
Period. And then DJ, 1 to 5 grapes.
3, it tastes like a knockoff Guinness to me. Sorry.
Isn't
Man,
it?
if you have any foreign viewers, you just caught some flack.
Probably.
Oh, I'm already getting all the
You
flack
know,
from the French.
we already
the
don't
Irish.
have any listeners in Ireland because Paul hates the Irish.
I did call them a wind-worn people, and all sorts of. And the French don't like me either.
The Italians have disowned him.
Yeah, the Italians disowned me after the Amityville thing.
The
there's a
Germans,
lot
he's on thin
happening.
ice with the Germans.
Yeah. I'm cool with everyone else, though. Everyone else likes me, I think, well, for now.
Well, I mean, the collective nations of the continent of Africa have condemned you because you once asked, isn't Africa a country on the podcast?
Listen, okay, I know it's a continent now, okay? I just don't do geography. Gays don't do geography, okay? That's why we have GPSs, for people like us. Okay? Okay.
And this has been why Paul is on a United Nations watch list.
Yes, you're welcome. So, before we get too far off topic, I'm drinking Rolling Rock because it reminds me of college, and I give it 5 grapes because it reminds me of
His glory
cheap
days.
college beer. And just real quick before I get into today's topic, have you ever shotgunned a beer?
Oh, absolutely.
Period. That's what I like to hear.
I've shotgunned a White Claw. Does that count?
Yes.
I've
Okay.
shotgunned a Four Loko.
I've heard of
Holy
people doing
shit.
that, and that's cursed. I couldn't do that.
I shotgunned
Dork-sided.
2 in a row once.
And
That's
how did you not
dark-sided.
die?
Oh, it was rough. I will not say it's not like I got drunk off it. It's like I thought I was gonna explode and vomit everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
because
Because
it's
they're
so
so
fizzy.
full. And so like after like a good 30-40 minutes, I finally like got a burp out and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
can like actually now enjoy the party. I was like, this wasn't worth it.
Now, have you ever strawed a beer? You have to do it with a beer bottle. You put a straw in, and then you like kind of twist the straw over it, and it forces air into it and forces it down your throat.
So no, because every time or attempted, yes, is the answer, but failed miserably every time. I guess this is where I'm like, all boobs, no brain. I could never get it to work. like, I always ended up just beer on my face, and I'm like, I could have just shotgunned this. Like,
Right.
we already have a way to do this, guys.
I don't know. They like to mix it up, I guess. And I've never like tried the beer bong thing either. Have
Really?
you?
You've never done a beer bong?
No, I was always nervous because the guys who did it always got it all over themselves because no one in my frat knew really how to do it. So everyone always embarrassed themselves. So I was like, I'm not going to embarrass myself doing that.
There is, so like you can't just like willy-nilly just pour the beer into the funnel because then it gets all foamy and that's rough.
Yeah.
But like when it's actually just like, you pour it correctly and there's not like a ton of foam, then the beer bongs are like really quick and easy. I've also done one off like, what was it, like a 3-story building once. There's a 3-story bong. Not fun. That's not fun. That force that comes down is not fun.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That gravity makes it come down your throat. That sounds crazy.
Have you ever done a keg stand?
Oh, absolutely.
Period.
We were just in Chicago,
Let's
and
go.
we went to a party, and they had a keg to do keg stands, and Paul and I went outside to get a breath of fresh air, and the keg was there, and there were a group of people, and I was like, are we still doing keg stands? And they were like, the keg's empty, and I was like, I was going to do a keg stand. I'm just drunk enough to do a keg stand.
So, we've done keg stands in the past. Have either of you done Dunkaroos?
Like the cookies?
Yeah,
No.
that's what I thought too.
No, not quite. So we call them Dunkaroos.
Okay.
I was also a swimmer in college.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so, we do a lot of hypoxic work, a lot of underwater, holding your breath. And so what a Dunkaroo is we would take a bucket of ice water and you would go upside down, dunk, and hold your breath for as long as possible. And the funny part of this was we were at a frat that was doing this as well, and we adopted what they were doing immediately because they would count to 7 and then they would just keep saying 7. And so the record is 7.
Someone.
Okay.
So what is like because that's not really a drink, you're just putting your head in ice water?
Well, so then you come out and you usually chug a beer or something.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I was like, are they just dipping their heads in ice water for fun? Or, it's like the reverse ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, it was, again, maybe not the smartest thing. They were fun.
But we were doing it.
And then you also start thinking of all the people that put their heads in it and stuff, and it's it's kind of gross.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like bobbing for apples, after a while you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I never liked that. Bobbing for apples, never sat right with me.
I'm really good at
enjoyed
bobbing
it.
with apples, but I'm good at doing things with my mouth, so.
I read that on the bathroom stall about you.
That's right.
Anyway.
Welcome to
right.
Crips and Corks.
Yes. Why don't
The
we get-
world's leading twink-led paranormal investigative and research podcast.
Yes. Speaking of which, why don't we get into today's story? And for today's introduction, I have prepared kind of a monologue, but it's 2 people talking, so I guess it's kind of like a dialogue.
It's a dialogue. It's two of Paul's personalities discussing amongst themselves.
Yes, and I will be playing both parts of this dialogue for the viewers at home who might get confused because my acting is so good and my voices are so good. So, just throwing it out there, it is me, Paul, playing both parts.
I'm personally really hyped for this.
Thank you. I practiced a lot, so hopefully I don't fuck it up. Yo, Chad, what's going on? Hey, Brad, not much. Hey, Brad, though. Yo, have you been alright lately? I mean, you missed bro kisses under the bleachers this morning, and you've just been feeling kind of off. Wow, Chad. Thanks for your insightful inquiry about my feelings and things. That really means a lot. Actually, I have been feeling kind of off lately. I think the frat house is haunted. I keep seeing shadow figures in the hallway. There's phantom knocks on my doors. Someone keeps touching my bosom at night. And bosom is such a funny word. I learned that one on a popsicle stick. Brad, have you been taking mescaline with the lady under the bridge again? No, Chad. I told you I stopped doing drugs that I don't know how to spell. Oh, that's right, Chad. Well, Brad, sorry, sometimes I mix up my name. How long have you been sober, Brad? Going about 2 weeks now. I almost figured out how to spell Xanax, but I forget how many Z's are in that one. Well, Brad, let's go back to your frat house and let's check out some things. Let's see if this is haunted and see what's going on here. Fast forward 10 minutes. Whoa, Brad, this frat house is really haunted. You know what we need to do? We need to go get a Ouija board. I've seen a lot of movies, and they got a lot of Ouija boards in a lot of movies, and I think that's really going to make this situation better. Wow, Chad, that was really insightful too. Let's do it. But on the way to the Walmart, why don't we make up for lost time and bro kiss under the bleachers again? Brad, I thought you'd never ask. And scene. That's right. Today, we will be discussing haunted frat houses, as you probably picked up from our scenery today. And we brought the broiest bro we know. That was a joke. You're not the broiest bro I know.
I was like, really? Oh,
So,
quite the accolade.
who was your favorite, Brad or Chad?
You know,
What?
I can't decide. It was like being in a room with Meryl Streep giving two Oscar-worthy performances at the same time.
I think it was Chad because of and watch me be wrong on who I'm naming here, for saying like, Brad, you missed bro kisses.
Right.
Was that Brad or was that Chad?
I forget, honestly.
At some point, Brad and Chad became interchangeable.
Yeah, I definitely mixed up the names for a bit. But, sometimes the frat boys forget your own name, and that's okay, Literacy is not their strong suit sometimes, and I can vouch for that as a former frat boy, which we are all former frat boys. Yes. I don't know if you guys want to shout out your frats. I don't know how your nationals will feel about that. But we were all frat boys in college. You guys were in like professional smart people frats, and I was in dumb party boy frat.
I mean, I would say my brothers would be like, professional? Maybe? We were more of a social frat for sure.
Okay, I got you. That's really interesting. Because, all the professional frats at my school, they never, went out and partied or did, they'd have their own little parties, but, they never, partied like we did. Not that my frat partied, just so, for legal reasons. Especially not in our house across from the police station. But why don't we get into a little bit of history about fraternities? Because the history about fraternities is really interesting. So, fraternities and sororities, they started out actually as groups that students would join to debate and discuss topics that the school's faculty did not deem worthy of discussion in the classroom. So they started out more as intellectual clubs, right?
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Oh,
Truly.
yeah. Right.
And this is probably... Okay.
But also, my first question is, did you look up to see, what are the topics in particular that were forced off? Oh, no, we can't talk about in the classroom. You have to go somewhere else.
I'm guessing politics. Reform.
Mm-hmm.
I think poor people should be paid a living wage. No, Cuthbert! Religion. I think Catholics and Jews should have the same rights as Protestants. Shut up, Cuthbert!
I imagine it was very
Yeah. But also, I think they have a point here because when I get drunk, I love nothing more than getting on my soapbox and debating.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because when these things really started to get established and going, it would be a competition. See, there would be two fraternity type clubs. They weren't considered fraternities at that moment. It's just how it started and stemmed. They would be warring, so they would debate each other. And actually, it was interesting. At some schools, you would actually be assigned one or the other. It wasn't an option to join one. And they also referred to them as literary societies because in these societies, you could be assigned to write things like poems or essays and different things like that. So these were very scholarly organizations.
I am so in. Where do I sign up? Give me the clipboard. I will sign up right now.
Yeah, these sound even far more advanced than any the professional fraternities.
Right.
They're really academically focused anyways.
I think the students were really just looking for an outlet to talk about shit they couldn't talk about in class, edgy shit.
Yeah, because I feel in the I don't know when we're at, but the 1700s, I feel like there was no cool professor. And if you did have a cool professor, it's probably Ben Franklin, and he's just like, sorry, dudes, that I missed last week. I was too busy getting gonorrhea from half of Philadelphia, or giving gonorrhea to half of Philadelphia. But whatever. You all get A's on your finals because I'm going over to Paris to, like, get money for the revolution.
And also get gonorrhea there.
Spread gonorrhea.
Spread it too, yeah.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
True
Yeah,
story.
Ben Franklin.
Ben
He was
Franklin.
a horny motherfucker.
He loved Paris. And probably not because
And
of
Paris
the
loved
sights.
him.
Yeah.
Yes, in many different ways. Now, it was on December 5th of 1776 that Phi Beta Kappa was established at the University of William and Mary in Williamstown, Virginia. And you already know that they had the baddest babes at the University of William and Mary, so it makes sense that the fraternity as we know it today started there.
I have a question. Were babes allowed in college then? In 1776?
I don't know, it's a joke, because
Oh,
it's like a
okay.
very bland-sounding name.
The College of William and Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the second oldest college in the United States.
Way to make it sound more bland.
I thought you made it sound more important there.
I was trying to.
Okay. So actually, Phi Beta Kappa was the organization that would set the precedent for naming these organizations after Greek letters. And the group started by meeting at the Raleigh Tavern off campus. So it didn't even start on campus. It was a group of students that would start meeting and just gathering at a tavern. And they wanted to start something more, wanted to make it more official and everything. And not focus so much on the academic things that the clubs like before that were focusing on, like the literary stuff. They wanted to focus more on fellowship and making friends, more of the social things. So this one really started that.
So what I'm hearing is the dumb kids who couldn't get into the literary society started their own club.
And that would have been me.
And they were, I can just imagine, it's Aaron Burr, okay?
Okay.
It's Aaron Burr. And he's just like, he has this beer and he's like, guys, I got a great idea. Let's start a social club because we can't get in the literary clubs. We're going to start one. But to show that we are smart, we're going to give it a Greek name. Because I know fucking ancient Greek.
And Greek's smart.
Baklava, bitches.
I have no idea what he said. It was in a different language.
You didn't know this was a foreign language podcast.
Right?
Okay, so Phi Beta Kappa also set the precedent for secret keeping, as they would wear badges with letters on them that had secret meanings, and they even had a secret handshake. They also established a motto, Philosophia Bio Cybernetes. I'm so sorry for butchering that Latin, as I butcher many languages on this podcast. I do apologize.
Thus the UN watch list.
Exactly.
Do we add Greece to the list now?
That was Latin, so ancient Rome.
Yeah.
Caligula, you're on I can't say that.
Is Caligula a country?
No, that was one of the emperors. Nero, you're on Nero's list.
Oh, okay.
I have inadvertently chugged the beer.
Now, that motto meant philosophy is the helmsman of life. So even though they were like focusing on social things, they also had a mission, you know? They had something to like work for, like the betterment of man, being a gentleman, as fraternities to this day do. Even the social ones have a sort of charity they give to.
Bruh, you're forgetting the most important philosophy of all. Saturdays are for the boys.
Facts.
Heck yeah.
Facts.
Let's go. And we are recording this on a Saturday, so you're welcome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Biblically accurate Saturday. There you go. Now we're going to skip ahead to November 26th of 1825, when the first national secret fraternity was established at Union College in Shenandoah, New York, called Kappa Alpha Society. And they branched even further away from the academic side of the previous societies and so focused solely on fellowship. They left all the academic shit behind here and focused solely on brotherhood and fellowship. Now, time for quick history stuff so we can get to the haunted houses, okay? And if you have any comments, feel free to stop me at any time.
It just sounds like fraternities kind of became this really screwed up version of a telephone game.
Do expand on that.
So, like, the first one's scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, really focusing on academic.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next kind of group was like, no, we can't get into that. And, like, but we're going to keep a lot of it. And then, like, the next group is like, this is what it is. And
we're going to
it's
change
like,
it.
yeah, where it's like, well, now it's just like,
Yeah.
we don't talk about academic stuff. We're just bros.
It goes from debate and philosophy into, we can't get into that, so we're gonna like mimic it, but with secrets into drinking, into exclusivity, into Jewish space lasers.
Yeah, that is kind of like a reflection on society in a way. It's kind of metaphorical. Someone should do a research paper on that. Not me, but someone.
How we've hit our high point and we're just now on the downturn of civilization, slowly descending to our rotten core.
That's deep.
I mean,
Whoa.
Saturdays are for the boys, brah!
Let's go! Let's go!
Now I can see why those literary societies went out the window.
And it's like, wow, that was a really deep moment where we have to look internally at our own flaws. Nah, screw that. I don't want that.
Right.
Yeah, like, I don't, nah.
Not today.
Nope. Saturdays for the boys.
Yes, but you know what wasn't for the boys? 1826, because that began a hard period for fraternities.
Wait, didn't the second official one start in 1825?
Yes.
Oh, so we had a 1-year golden era.
No! Okay, the golden era is yet to come, okay?
Oh,
You gotta
okay,
let me
okay,
talk.
sorry,
We'll get
sorry,
there. So you
okay.
need to calm the fuck down, okay? You need to calm the fuck down and lock in.
I'm locked in, brah.
Okay. So, 1826 began a hard period for fraternities when a man named William Morgan professed he was a high-ranking Mason and was going to release their secrets, and then he disappeared. People speculated that he was murdered by the Masons, and this created a national kind of, what's the word? People were very skeptical of secret societies at that point, and fraternities were secret societies, so this national skepticism that was sparked really was not good for fraternities at that time. And the faculty really didn't even like fraternities because, like, even from the beginning, like, fraternities were always, like, going against what the faculty wanted to do, like discussing those topics they didn't want to talk about, and then they became the bros, the parties, all that stuff. So this was a really tough time for fraternities. Now, in 1851, the first all-woman sorority was founded called Alpha Delta Phi. Period. Love women.
Women's rights.
Let's fucking go. Then, in the 1860s, although facing challenges, fraternities started growing more, and new ones were established, and different chapters of fraternities would open across the nation.
It kind of makes sense, though, because, like, when you go to college and you don't know anyone, it's kind of enticing, this whole idea of brotherhood and fraternity and, like, having a core group that is supposed to have your back always, like your friends and family back home. So it does make sense, like, how they gained in popularity.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if you talk about this too, but eventually also it's like fraternities became a way of, like, the social part, sure, but then professional in a way of, like, even the social fraternities, it's like, oh yeah, you know, this guy works here now and he's just going to hook you up with a job when you graduate.
Exactly, yes.
Not, like, kind of, not nepotism, but, like, cronyism, is it?
Yeah, and on the flip side, looking at the 1850s, as old money and new money is starting to mix in these universities, it becomes a way of, oh, like, in the dining hall, we have to associate with the other side. But in this fraternity, like, it's, oh, we're all old money here, it's fine, like, I know you, and you know my dad, and it's all good. It's all in the family. Incest.
Yeah.
Weird way of saying wincest.
Yeah.
Period.
Ew.
Also, people just like to be a part of something, and I think people have always had, like, a fascination with secret societies and just, like, being like, oh, I'm a part of something special that someone else isn't a part of, and it kind of makes me special. So I think that adds to it as well.
Yeah, and it really helps if when you join the secret society, you can keep the secret society secret. Paul.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that on the...
I'm a good secret keeper.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead so we can get to the spooky things, okay? So it wasn't until the early 20th century that the fraternity and sorority house, as we know it, would be established. Colleges had outgrown the number of students that wanted to come to them, so they didn't have as much student housing. So having this off-campus housing through the fraternity and sorority became a very good thing, not only for the fraternities and sororities to establish more closer connections, but also good for the colleges who didn't have enough dorm space to support all the students who wanted to go to school there and live on campus. And some say these houses even saved fraternity and sorority life, not only bringing them closer to each other, but also bringing them more in favor with not financial, but college institutions and universities and things.
Okay.
Now, between all the rituals, all the secret keeping, all just the spookiness and all the hazing that comes with fraternities, it's no surprise that there are a lot of haunted fraternity and sorority houses out there. And I have some stories for you guys today of just a few, just a little something to dip your toes into the haunted fraternity and sorority houses here in America. Okay, so why don't we get into our first one? So, the Chi Omega sorority house where Ted Bundy brutalized 4 women and killed 2.
Oh my god.
We're starting off light, as you can tell.
Holy shit, you just went balls to the walls on the first one.
Yeah, and I know you guys don't really do true crime on Paranormal in Pennsylvania, but...
I mean, this certainly qualifies if, the spirits of the poorly murdered... I'm sorry, the poor women who were murdered by Ted Bundy.
We're not going to talk too much about the murder today, because I'm sure in the future we're going to do a whole series on Ted Bundy. But let's talk a little bit about the house. So it's no surprise that Ted Bundy's ghost is actually seen at the sorority house. Now, I will say most reports of Ted Bundy's ghost is at the jail he was executed at, though, but there are reports of seeing him at that sorority house.
Oh no, I'm not living there. I'm out.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised the sorority didn't sell it off or raise it to the ground and put it in a nice memorial garden.
So yeah, I don't know, man. When it comes to spirits and you start talking about, oh, it's a grouchy old man. But it's oh no, this is a prolific serial killer that's still hanging out here.
And 4 of his victims.
Yeah, and it's oh.
Only 2 were killed.
Oh.
Yeah. He only brutalized. So he brutalized 2 and killed the 2.
Yeah, so 4 victims.
Yeah, well, only 2 of the girls.
2 murder victims, 2 assault victims.
Yes. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh no, it just sounds like he was doing a crap job. Could have. He left witnesses.
Oh, you wanted him to finish the job, which men have a hard time doing.
That's why I broke up with my last boyfriend.
That took a second. To register.
That's why I broke up with my last boyfriend. He could never finish the job.
Period. Now, some rooms in this house are called ritual rooms because these rooms are perpetually cold and are said to have portals and ways to the other side, And
who calls them ritual rooms?
the people on the website I read this off of.
Oh, okay.
And I assume they got that from the people who lived in the sorority house. Now, go ahead.
Assuming that the sorority does ritual or something, to bring in new members, imagine how confusing that must be for people that are being initiated. Oh yeah, those are the ritual rooms, and wait, what?
Remember, guys, Tuesday's ritual night, and then the 2
People
newbies are just in the ritual room, is it cold in here? Is it just me?
Where is everybody?
Gosh, where are we? Now, some people also report hearing whispers in the house, things being moved, and the clacking of high heels when no one else is around. There's even an urban legend at the university that they no longer use the door that Ted Bundy came through out of fear that it'll awaken more paranormal activity, or let his spirit back in, which it sounds like his spirit's probably already in there if they're seeing him in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that ship has sailed.
Yes.
Also, I love the throwback of the doors because, like, it's unique. Like, it's very unique in Eastern European and in American culture. Like, two, like, polar opposite sides of Western civilization have this this belief system around doors. And that the Eastern Europeans believe, like, that's where the house spirit resides. But in America, it's something totally different, whereas, like, they're portals. And so, like, have you ever heard, like, the old saying, like, you never leave a house except by the door you entered? Because it was, like, seen as bad luck to, like, exit through another door. Like, it would open a portal and bad stuff would happen.
Interesting. I've heard that with, like, pointing two mirrors together.
Yeah.
Or towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm also wondering, like, how did they guarantee that no one's used that door? Did they, like, seal it? Is it no longer a door?
Honestly, couldn't tell you. I guess that's why it's an urban legend, because who knows if it's true or not.
Well,
Right.
it's a sorority, so I'm sure they barred it. If it was a fraternity, there'd be a sign taped there, probably with some gum, that said, "Do not use this door. Chad smells," in the corner, written in pencil.
And then immediately somebody just opens the door anyways, walks through.
Yeah, like, oh my god, is this the bathroom?
Oh my gosh. So going into this, like researching this particular sorority house, I really thought there would be a lot more hauntings, but surprisingly, the sisters of the sorority are very like close-knit, and they keep these stories to themselves a lot of the time because they don't want the publicity to be associated with the murders. And I'm a big fan of Last Podcast on the Left, and the one host went to school there, and he went to one of their parties, and he tried to talk to one of them about it, and he actually got kicked out of the parties for asking about it. They don't even like when you ask about the murders or anything
Holy
like
shit.
that.
Well, I mean, going back to the social or the fellowship aspect, like, even though it was 50 years ago, those were their sisters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's like a sign of disrespect, like, you're coming here to, like, talk about my sister's murder.
That's a really good point. I know. I was also just thinking, like, that's also like a mood killer for the party too. But it's like to talk about such a tragedy like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Just like, hey, you're really hot. Can I ask you about when Ted Bundy killed 4 people in this house?
Two.
Yeah, there were also like some talks that I read about they like really pushed it down because the Nationals threatened to stop giving them funds because the Nationals didn't want to be associated with it either. So they threatened to like stop funding them as well. So there were some talks of that being a reason why they don't talk about it much as well.
That's a pretty huge motivating factor.
Yeah.
Money, yes.
Yeah, like Nationals threatened to revoke funding. That's your behavior changes immediately.
Yes. Now, I don't have any pictures of this one. There will be pictures going forward, but I wanted to respect the sorority house and not have pictures of this one. But don't worry, the next frat house we're going to talk to, the people are more than willing to talk, and I do have pictures. So, let's get into our next frat house. Did I lose it already?
Apparently.
Nope, it's right there. Awesome. So, the Phi Kappa Alpha, or Pike House at Marshall University in West Virginia, is famously haunted. And it stems from before it was even a frat house, because before it was a frat house, it was just a regular house people lived in. And the previous residents even experienced supernatural activity there. One previous resident, Nicole Malloy, was so inspired by the hauntings in this house, she wrote a book about it called The Blacker House. And one of the most famous accounts from this book is hearing partying and people walking upstairs in the attic throughout the night. And they say this stems from this house being a speakeasy during the Prohibition era.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And they said, like, someone, like, because, you know, when people get drunk, they get messy and stuff. And there is, like, legends, well, urban legends or stories of, like, someone dying up in the attic during the Prohibition era due to some drunken accident or something. I wasn't able to get an exact story, just, like, the general outline of someone died up there in, like, a drunken mess or something of that nature. But To this day, the fraternity members of Pike experience these phantom sounds. Also, it is said they hear phantom knocks on their doors, and when they go to open them, no one is there. But it's not just noises and phantom knocks. Fraternity members also report seeing full-on apparitions and shadowy figures, including a ghost in dress clothes that wanders the first floor and a little girl in the basement.
Don't like that.
Don't like that one, yeah.
Yeah, because it might not be a little girl.
Yep, that's...
Spoiler alert.
Am I the only one who jumped to, like, Jeffrey Epstein type activities?
Oh,
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I did not think of that.
Yeah, I did not go there.
Ooh, spooky. That's very spooky. No. Wait, do you have a comment?
No.
Okay. And now, if you're wondering if this is all just frat boys playing tricks to scare each other, well, one Mr. Spano, who was president of Pike, stayed at the house one holiday by himself when everyone else had left and gone home. He was sure he was the only person in the house at that point, but he still heard footsteps through the halls, knocking on his door, and laughter heard throughout the hallways. Now, I'm going to show you guys a picture of this house, because the front of this house has probably the coolest fucking lawn ornament I've seen for a frat house. They have a legit fire truck
Oh my
on the
God.
lawn of their frat house.
That is
actually
pretty neat.
yeah.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine going to a frat party or just like that being your house and you're partying and you're drunk and you're just like playing fire truck?
I was ready for you to like subvert our expectations and be like a pink flamingo.
Yeah,
No.
or
And be like,
something.
"Ugh."
They got a whole fire truck.
They got a frat truck.
A frat truck.
I'm sure it's there for, like, people who are like, no, I can drive. And it's like, okay, here you go. And it's like, okay.
Right, get someone drunk.
Wow, I'm going so slow.
And as usual, we will have this picture on our Instagram. And if you're driving, close your eyes and go over to our Instagram. I'm sure you probably won't crash. And take a look at the picture, because this frat house is pretty cool with the fire truck in front.
If you do crash, you can have your own fire truck.
There you go.
That
You'll
was
see
a
one
joke.
pretty soon.
That was a joke. For legal reasons, that is a joke.
Actually, now that you say that, I guess it is pretty easy to summon a fire truck to your home anytime you want. You just like start burning shit down.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
Ancient magic spell.
Yes.
that's the better
cast
way.
fire.
Because I was thinking, you
Yes.
could just call 911 and say, my house is on fire.
But then that would make you a liar.
Exactly, but if you actually set the fire, you're not lying.
Your house is indeed on fire then.
You're just an arsonist.
Very that. So, let's move on to the Alpha Sigma Phi House, or the Thunderdome, as the brothers would call it, at Slippery Rock University.
Oh, Jesus.
Now,
I love it. It's perfect.
Right, that's so badass. Let's go to the Thunderdome. And haven't you guys covered Slippery Rock University on your pod?
We have.
So did you cover this frat house at all?
No, I don't think we did.
Interesting. Well,
I'm still trying to get over Thunderdome.
this frat house
She
actually...
went to Thunderdome now.
It sounds like somewhere where a shitty WWE knockoff match would be.
That'd be so much fun to attend.
Honestly. So, this frat house is said to be haunted by an entity named Ted. Now, Ted was supposedly the spirit of Samuel Mohawk, a Seneca Indian who in 1843 murdered the family of James Whiten, his wife Margaret, and their 5 children because Mohawk was seeking revenge on the white race.
Yikes.
Lots to unpack there, and I doubt Samuel was Mohawk's biblically accurate name. Now,
How did we get Ted from Samuel?
That did cross my mind as well. I'm like, this is quite the change up.
And also, is there any happy ghosts in this?
yes, we'll get there.
Okay.
No. I mean,
You're knocking the cops around.
the frat boys are the ones who named him Ted, so I am kind of like not surprised and also very happy they didn't name him something a little more racially insensitive.
Wow, that's a very fair point.
Yes, so
All of a sudden, Ted is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ted's
yeah.
great.
Now, I will note detailed accounts of the murders don't Place Mohawk near the frat house. But the producers of Sci-Fi's show School Spirits, who investigated the house and its backstory, say there are thematic linkages between the hauntings at the frat house and the murders. For instance, doors being slammed, people being confined or restrained by the ghosts, and footsteps heard upstairs.
Interesting.
How is this unlike any other haunted house anywhere?
You know, I feel like maybe Sci-Fi School Spirits needed a story.
Yeah.
And maybe...
And also, what does thematically alike the murders mean?
That implies that it had like detailed information of how the murders occurred.
Or like, oh, we hear disembodied screaming of multiple people. We see a shadow man with a hatchet or a shotgun or whatever other weapon he used.
Well, let me continue.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really ruining it here. We're stealing the thunder.
No, you
The
can't steal
thunder from the Thunderdome!
It's just the dome now.
Oh, get some of that dome, you know? Period. Now, the hauntings were light at first, hearing noises in the fraternities chapter room. This is where the activity centered around. And when they would go in and investigate, they would find their wooden paddles on the ground. They also heard the sounds of children, which they attributed to the murdered children. Now, the spirit did become more violent after he was named Ted. And there's other stories it became more...
Now we're back to it not being a good name.
Well, there's other, sources that say it got violent after one of the pledges started harassing the ghost and said he didn't believe in the ghost and that he was going to, haze the ghost. And that also...
That checks.
I imagine it was probably a combination of both.
If I were a ghost and if somebody named me Ted or threatened to haze me after they said they didn't believe in me, I too would become violent.
Yes. Now, footsteps turned to heavy pacing. The paddles were thrown instead of falling off the wall. And during a Ouija board session in the chapter room, they got the words stab, kill, stab, God, and then bye. And then when asked how many people are in the room, the Ouija board said 9. And there were 9 brothers in the room at that time.
See, I don't think that has anything to do with the previous murder. I think that is what the ghost who is called Ted is planning to do.
Yeah, it's probably how he's feeling right now after being named Ted and having to endure whatever that fraternity was doing.
Yeah, we really walked into that one yeah, Ted's a fine name because you could have gone a horribly racist name and it's the ghost really doesn't like that. And it's well, crap.
Well,
here we are.
We tried.
Yeah, we tried.
Now, I do have a picture of this house. It does look spooky, doesn't it? It looks a little spooky, like it'd be haunted or something. I mean, it's an average house, but...
Yeah, it's like an average house looking
How many
house.
people do they fit in there?
Bitch, I don't know. What do you...
Why I looked up the floor plan?
Right,
Why
what...
not? Research,
Duh.
Paul, research.
This ain't the fucking Property Brothers. What do you want from me?
This isn't... Oh shit, I'm in the wrong studio.
Now, let's round this out with a frat house that is very near and dear and close to my heart. The Pi Lambda Phi frat house at Frostburg State University, which we called the Den. And I did well, our thing is the lion. Our mascot was the lion, so we called it the Den, the Lion's Den. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no Thunderdome, I guess, but it's something.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
It doesn't compare necessarily in that regard, but it is catchy and clever in its own way, right?
Yes, exactly. Now, I did live in this house before it was our frat house, because when you're poor, go to a poor university, you don't have money to buy a house. So the frat house just becomes
Whatever house you're renting.
Exactly, the house where most brothers live in. So I lived in that house actually before it was the frat house, and the house was split into 2 sections, right? There was the basement and the top half, and people would rent out the top half, different people would rent out, I lived in the bottom half for a period of time, and then different people lived in the top half. So, it could be, rented out by 2 different sets of people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You didn't have to know the person, and the door to the basement locked, so they couldn't, come in and things.
Okay.
So, the hauntings, started, before it became the frat house. It was always spooky, and when I was living in the basement, we were actually like friends with the people who lived upstairs. And I would think they were home, so I would go up and like talk to them because like low key we would go up and we would smoke cigarettes up there with them and everything. So I would go up there and then no one would be there because like I would hear footsteps and be like, oh, they're home. So we would go up and no one would be there. And the people who lived upstairs would also talk about like how they felt it was haunted. And I actually would live there like year round because like I was from the area, so I would be staying there like during Christmas break and stuff when everyone else would go home. And there was one particular Christmas break where I was like in the basement by myself. This was still when I was living in the basement before it was a frat house. And I heard the footsteps upstairs when I was literally the only one in the house, which was spooky. And I do remember another like instance where it was that same holiday break, and I wanted to steal one of the internet cables from upstairs, which I can't get in trouble for now because I don't live there anymore. So I was trying to steal one of the internet cables from upstairs for like downstairs, and like while I was like, I had to get the cable out of the wall. And like I felt like someone was watching me the whole time. It could have been my own paranoia because like I was a little scared the landlord was gonna walk in.
Right,
but,
perfect timing.
It really felt like I was like being watched and someone didn't like me up there doing what I was doing. But it did eventually become like our frat house, the den, and I would move upstairs and then our frat brothers would live downstairs and I lived with frat brothers upstairs. And I asked some of my frat brothers if like they experienced similar things, and they did say yes, they always felt weird in there. One frat brother in particular, Aiden, shout out Aiden, thank you for hitting me up with your stories, but he always like said he felt weird in the home, especially like down in the basement. And there was a room, like a back room on the first floor that always felt weird. And he even said there was like stories of a girl who had died in the driveway.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, so there was definitely something going on there. And this was corroborated by one of my good friends, a very good friend of the podcast, Lennon, who, if you saw our Lockhouse 25 series, and Lennon was actually in a sorority with, well, one of our sororities we were friends with. So Lennon came over and Lennon sensed a older man that was like in the top part of the house.
Interesting.
Lennon also said something about, because I asked Lennon about this before I was doing the research and everything, and Lennon did also corroborate that there might have been a girl like spirit in the basement as well. And interestingly enough, the little girl was supposedly like, that spirit was in the room I lived in down there.
Ew.
Now, Lennon did actually send a story of one of the sorority houses that they lived in, and I'm going to read that for you guys now because it's pretty spooky. But before I do, Lennon actually wrote this book. It's called The Serpent's Rise. The Serpent's Rise. Go buy Lennon's book. It's an awesome read. I'm partway through it. Definitely a good read. Go pick it up. You can get it at Barnes & Noble. Great book, The Serpent's Rise. Now, while I'm pulling up Lennon's story, let's go around the room.
It's a pretty cool title, and also I like the art.
Right, the art is cool.
Yeah.
Lennon's super cool. We'll have to get an investigation together with all of us because Lennon is the perfect person to investigate with. But the insight and just the paranormal knowledge and yes, the perfect person to do paranormal investigations with. But
Lockhouse 25 2.0.
What did you say?
Lockhouse 25 2.0.
Oh, Lockhouse 25 is lit. We got a lot of activity.
We got
there.
a lot there.
Yes. Now, before I begin Lennon's story, why don't we go around the room and say one thing we did to respect women today? You first, DJ.
I tipped my hairdresser well. I don't know.
DJ doesn't respect women. How about you?
I let my wife sleep in today, and I took our daughter, so give her a break, and went and did some grocery shopping.
That's
period.
Good.
I love that. And I didn't beat the shit out of DJ for not respecting women.
Wow.
I don't. You should have given me a heads up. I don't know. I only saw 2 women today. My grandmother and my hairdresser.
Wow,
Yeah.
you didn't respect either of them. Good job, DJ.
I poured my grandmother's tea for her this morning.
Respecting your elders, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, once he said that, I was like, oh, this is easy. I got this.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get into London's story.
I dusted my mother's urn off. There you go.
Period. He only respects dead women. You heard it here
Oh,
first.
Jesus.
Do you want to keep going?
No.
This is,
See what I have to put up with?
yeah, that was rough.
Alright. So, this is a story from Lennon, and I'm reading it from Lennon's perspective, okay? Okay, so I lived in the historic district of Frostburg for my senior year of college. This was a sorority house insofar as our landlord was the sorority advisor, and all the ladies living there were sisters of the same sorority. This house was across from a funeral home, and almost every house on that street had some activity going on inside it. I believe that our house was haunted by a man and a little girl upstairs. We had a crawl space in a closet that was painted with flowers, but I always got the worst feeling from it. One time, I was standing in the kitchen with one of my roommates, and I watched from across the room as her ponytail swished like someone had smacked it.
Ew.
I gasped, and she turned around to swat at me, assuming I had been the one to do it, only to find that I was easily 10 feet away from her and clearly hadn't moved from where I was leaning in the door frame. Another time, I was watching TV in the living room. The stairwell behind me was reflected in the window, and all of a sudden, I saw a figure of a shadowy gray man come walking down the stairs straight towards me. I jumped up so fast and ran out of the room. When friends would come over, especially at night, we'd get such a creepy feeling sitting in the kitchen that we'd physically have to leave. I stayed in Frostburg for most of the year since I worked in town. That meant that after my roommates had gone home for the summer for the holidays, I was alone in the house. So many times I'd hear something move upstairs or hear footsteps on the floorboards. Sometimes I had to sleep with the lights on because of how heavy the energy felt in the house. Everyone knew it was haunted, but the rent was so affordable and the house was so nice, we all wanted a room. And that is Lennon's sorority house haunted story.
That made me think of a YouTube video that's literally I think it's called "The House is Haunted, but the Rent is Cheap."
Oh, yes. I see that I think I saw something like that on TikTok.
Yeah, and it's a guy like, beard and curly hair, and he's like, oh yeah, that's the doppelganger. He's gonna try to lure you down into the basement, but it's not me.
Don't go in the basement. That's so spooky. If I can fucking talk today, being a paranormal podcaster, if I can freaking talk. Doppelgangers are actually spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like scary. Have you guys covered any doppelgangers?
I don't think we have. Like, I wonder also if that's because, like, it's a doppelganger would be pretty hard to identify. And, because, like, people, if it is doppelganger, you just see somebody that you just see a person that you knew.
Right.
So you might have had a brush with death and not even know it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's spooky.
Right?
It's far more common to see a mimic and like somebody's or something is mimicking the voice.
Yeah. Like when you hear a person's out in the woods and you're like, no, sorry.
Paul, just come into the woods. We've got a Crunchwrap Supreme.
The way I'd be so quick in those woods.
Yeah, it's like, Kenny? No. Taco Bell? Oh, yes.
Right, I'll be right there. Taco Bell, tequila,
Paul, it's your mom. Come help.
Well,
no, my mom's not here. I have your Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme. All you see is asses and elbows.
My mom wouldn't buy me Taco Bell. I'd see right through that. Just kidding. My mom's bought me plenty of Taco Bell. Now, do you guys have any... I want to give you guys a chance to talk about any haunted fraternity house stories or sorority house stories you guys might have experienced as well.
Admittedly, I don't have one. Not to say, like, any of the the houses that I've been to were not like they were like all not haunted.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, if I was at a house, then I was also drinking, and
Yeah.
That'll do it.
My mindset was also not on like, is this place haunted?
That's true. We were thinking about other things.
Yeah.
We were thinking about beer, booze, and dudes, as our window says.
Whoops.
That happens all the time. Don't worry about it. Now, wait, DJ, did you have any
No.
haunted? Okay.
I've never been in a fraternity house.
Legally.
Never. I've been in a fraternity suite.
He's looked in the windows, but...
Stop slandering my name! I was cleared.
Now, I do have one final question for you guys. Usually I do a smasher pass while we do a smasher pass, but I thought for this episode I'd do something a little different. And I want to know, would you guys rather have a makeover from Anna Faris and the House Bunny, or would you attend a party with Zac Efron from The Neighbors, but they're playing their characters? Would you rather have the party or the makeover?
I would do the party in a heartbeat. I feel like, because like that movie was really funny.
The Neighbors, it was a good movie.
I would go to the party because that was when Zac Efron was peak hot.
Yeah, he's also a very attractive man.
Yes.
Honey, maybe you should do the makeover, though. This is your intervention. We're doing the makeover.
Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Please like, subscribe, follow wherever you...
You didn't let me pick mine. I would go to the party.
You don't get a pick anymore.
This isn't a frat episode. This is a library episode.
Yes,
Books are
truly.
The library is always open on Crips and Corks. I just wish I learned how to read. Anyway.
Any final thoughts?
Well, so do you have any final thoughts about haunted frat houses or sorority houses?
So for the stories that you told, some of them sounded a little bit more real than others.
Yes.
Like sometimes it sounds like, oh yeah, frat boys are playing jokes on frat boys.
Right.
But unfortunately, like the sorority one is the tragic one that has like a lot of like, I guess gravitas is not the right word to use here, but it's like two people were legitimately murdered there, and by a very well-known prolific serial killer.
Right. That house is probably the most spooky one, I imagine, to be in. Because even, like, not knowing, like, the hauntings that are happening there, because it's kept so close within the sorority. So, like, not knowing how intense the hauntings might get, you don't know what you're getting yourself into when you go there.
Right. And I'm not saying that all these places are not... The other places are not haunted, right? But it's just like, that one's, like...
A little...
Yeah, great starting on it. Like, quite the... grab of attention. I was like, oh
Thank
man.
you. Sometimes you gotta do it to them, you know?
Yeah, it came out swinging. I was like, jeez.
No, I want to go see the fire truck, honestly.
That would be cool. Yeah, and I would also be really interested to see like how do they utilize the fire truck throughout the year, like because you can't. It's not just a lawn ornament. You got to use it in some capacity.
Right. It's a fire truck. How cool is that? That would have been so cool to have in college. And you know everyone would want to join the fraternity with a freaking fire truck in the front yard.
Yeah, and you could do like a calendar.
Fraternity fire truck calendar.
Yeah, right. That'd be really cool. Probably raise some philanthropy money or booze money.
Something.
Yeah, something money.
Yes, exactly. Do you have any final thoughts, DJ?
No thoughts. All boobs, no brains.
The usual. My final thoughts is I had a lot of fun researching this. It really brought me back to my frat boy days and like just getting to relive like things, and I don't know, it really just reminded me of good times I had in the frat house, especially like reaching out to some of my old frat brothers and people I knew from college. And again, buy Lennon's book. Gotta put that product endorsement in there. And then yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was like reliving college a little bit and then painting all this and doing all this. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's really cool that you were able to tie in your own haunted experiences with this, right?
Right. No, it was cool. No, it was a lot of fun. Now, this is the time when you get to promote yourself. Tell us all about where we can find you, where we can find Paranormal in Pennsylvania. Where can the people find you?
Sure, you can find us on whatever you listen to podcasts on. We are on YouTube, TikTok, and We release every week on a Thursday mornings.
Thursday mornings, yes, and their podcast is great. So many awesome stories, and I love your podcast because, like, you wouldn't think there would be that many haunted things in Pennsylvania, but there are truly so many haunted things.
Yeah, when we first started, I'm like, man, guys, are we going to run out really quickly? Like,
Right.
Like, how many haunted places can there be? And then, like, when listeners started referring us, we're like, no, our backlog is huge now.
Amazing.
Right.
Yeah, which is great. Like, this is not a complaint. Like,
you have topics. That's awesome. Yeah. And now is Haunted United still doing that? The other podcast?
Yes. So, my wife and our co-host Erica also are a part of Haunted US, and myself as well, because I do the recording for it.
Okay.
But they do the podcast for Haunted Atlas.
Haunted Atlas. Perfect. So go ahead and check that one out too. And that one is outside of Pennsylvania, correct? Places outside, everywhere.
Yes, so Haunted Atlas underneath Haunted US is a paranormal podcast, and they cover places all across the country.
Perfect. And is there any last things you like to plug? And this is probably going to come out next Sunday, so any upcoming projects or anything you guys got coming out you'd like the people to watch?
Admittedly, not really, because it's like the holiday season approaching, so it's like kind of winding down for a bit.
Mood. Yeah, we don't got much coming up until next year either, so we're right there with you. It's quiet time. We made it through Halloween, which is the busiest time for spooky people.
Oh, for sure.
And now it's time for us to rest and like eat Thanksgiving and do all that fun stuff. But thank you so much for coming on the pod today.
Thank you so much for coming on and to our not so beer pong.
Yes.
Or not so pong beer.
I loved it. I also loved the decoration of it.
Thank you.
Thank you for broing out with us. It was so fun.
It is still fun.
Thank you.
I feel my testosterone levels just raging now.
Do you feel like you can slay a dragon now?
Yes.
Maybe not. I could definitely probably catch a football though.
Yes. We're all daddy now.
Oh.
Daddy is all of us.
And on that note, unless you have anything else to say.
Nope. I think we did the thing. Let's fucking go!
Okay.
Let's do it!
Thank you all so much for listening. We definitely appreciate and love you all. Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow wherever it is you are listening. If you have your own thoughts about haunted fraternity or sororities, please let us know by connecting with us on any of our social media listed below and DMing us. If you have personal stories that you would like to share with us to potentially be shared on the podcast, though, please email us at our email address below. Paul, where can they find you when you're at home?
You can find me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. And as usual, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
And if you'd like to follow me, you can do so on Instagram and on TikTok at The Real DH Powers. And if you'd like to write me a love letter, you can address it to the Thunderdome at Slippery Rock University, Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania.
I hate it here.
And until next time, keep your grips tight.
And your corks loose. Bye!
Cheers. Well played. Well played at the end there.
The Thunderdome!